High above Earth's atmosphere, Captain Sarah Chen sat at her monitoring station in the Orbital Defense Platform Alpha. Her eyes scanned the advanced holographic displays, showing deep space readings from the solar system's outer boundaries. It was supposed to be another routine night shift, but everything changed when the sensors detected something unusual. Multiple objects approaching from beyond Neptune's orbit, the AI assistant announced, its calm voice contrasting with the gravity of the situation. Speed and movement patterns indicate artificial propulsion. Sarah's training kicked in immediately. After years of preparation for this exact moment, humanity's first contact protocols were about to be tested. She pressed the alert button, sending signals to every major Earth Defense Force (EDF) facility worldwide. In Geneva, at the United Earth Government headquarters, General Michael Rodriguez was awakened by the emergency alert. Within minutes, he stood in the central command room, surrounded by holographic screens showing the approaching vessels. The ships were massive, each one larger than any spacecraft humans had ever built. "How many?" he asked, his voice steady despite the tension in the room. "7 large vessels, sir. Based on their formation, we believe 6 are escorts for what appears to be a diplomatic vessel," replied his aide, Lieutenant James Wong. The general nodded. Humanity had prepared for this moment for decades. After discovering the ruins of an ancient alien outpost on Mars in 2157, Earth's nations had united, pooling their resources to develop advanced technology and defense systems. They knew they weren't alone in the galaxy, and they had used that knowledge to prepare. The alien ships continued their approach, their sleek designs suggesting advanced technology. As they passed Mars' orbit, Earth's hidden defense grid automatically activated. Thousands of satellites and weapon platforms, invisible to standard sensors, powered up silently. In orbit, Sarah watched as the first communication attempt came from the alien fleet. The message was being broadcast on multiple frequencies, automatically translated by Earth's AI systems. "Greetings, planet Earth. We are representatives of the Galactic Empire, here to welcome you into our civilization. Prepare for our arrival and the glory of joining our vast empire." The message's tone made Sarah frown. It wasn't a request. It was an announcement of authority. She glanced at the tactical display, noting how Earth's hidden defenses were now fully operational but still cloaked. The aliens had no idea what they were flying into. In Geneva, General Rodriguez composed Earth's response carefully. After consulting with the United Earth Council, he transmitted, "Greetings, representatives of the Galactic Empire. We acknowledge your arrival. However, we must inform you that Earth is a sovereign world. Any diplomatic discussions must be conducted with full recognition of our independence." The response from the Empire came quickly, their surprise evident in the slightly delayed reply. "Your technology level is unexpected. However, you misunderstand. We do not request permission. The Empire brings order and progress to all worlds we encounter. Resistance is." Before they could finish their message, Earth revealed its first show of strength. Hundreds of advanced fighter craft emerged from hidden bases on the Moon, taking formation around the planet. The orbital defense platforms decloaked, revealing weapon systems that made the Empire's ships look obsolete. The Empire's fleet suddenly halted their approach. Their scanners must have been working overtime, trying to understand how a supposedly primitive world had developed such advanced technology without their knowledge. General Rodriguez smiled slightly before sending another message. "Perhaps we should start this conversation again. Earth welcomes peaceful diplomatic relations with any galactic civilization that respects our sovereignty. However, we are fully capable of defending our independence. The choice of how this first contact proceeds is yours." In her orbital station, Sarah watched the Empire's ships carefully. Their formation had shifted from an approach pattern to a defensive stance. It was clear they hadn't expected this level of technological advancement or unity from Earth. The first round of this cosmic chess game had gone to humanity. The Empire's scout fleet had expected to find another primitive world to add to their collection. Instead, they found a united planet ready to stand its ground in the galactic community. Now everyone waited to see what the Empire would do next. But one thing was certain. Earth would not bow easily to any foreign power, no matter how vast their empire might be. 3 days after the first contact, the Galactic Empire returned. This time, they brought a fleet of 30 ships that filled Earth's sky like artificial stars. The massive Imperial flagship, nearly the size of a small moon, positioned itself just beyond the moon's orbit. Admiral Kraz, the Empire's most experienced diplomat, stood on his command bridge looking at the blue planet through the view screen. His gray skin wrinkled in frustration as he reviewed the reports from the first contact attempt. Never in his 300 years of serving the Empire had he encountered such a difficult situation. "Open a channel to their leadership," he ordered, his translator converting his words to Earth's major languages. "It's time they understand their place in the galaxy." In Geneva, the United Earth Council gathered in their emergency chamber. The holographic displays showed the Imperial fleet's positions, while Earth's defense systems remained hidden, just like before. General Rodriguez stood beside Dr. Emily Chen, Earth's chief scientist, as they prepared to receive the Empire's message. Admiral Kraz's hologram appeared in the center of the council chamber. His alien features might have once seemed intimidating, but humanity had spent generations preparing for this moment through science fiction and scientific preparation. "People of Earth," Kraz began, his voice echoing through the chamber. "The Empire has reviewed your unexpected level of development. We offer you 2 choices. Join the Empire as a privileged member world, sharing in our 10,000 years of knowledge and trade networks, or face complete isolation from galactic society. You have 1 Earth day to decide." Dr. Chen stepped forward, her data pad displaying readings from the Imperial fleet. "Their ships are impressive," she whispered to General Rodriguez, "but our quantum shield technology is still 3 generations ahead of theirs. They don't even realize we can scan through their hull plating." The council president, Diana Patel, rose from her seat. She was a small woman, but her voice carried the strength of unified humanity. "Admiral Kraz, we have prepared our response already. Would you like to hear it?" The alien admiral's expression showed surprise at the quick reply. "Proceed," he said, clearly expecting submission. President Patel smiled. "Computer, initiate Protocol Zeus." Suddenly, the space around Earth lit up as thousands of hidden satellites and defense platforms revealed themselves. But this time, Earth showed more than just defensive capabilities. From behind the moon emerged humanity's pride. The EDS Prometheus, a ship that dwarfed even the Imperial flagship. "This is our response, Admiral," President Patel continued. "Earth respectfully declines both options. We propose a 3rd choice, recognition of Earth as a sovereign power and equal diplomatic relations." Admiral Kraz's hologram flickered as he received reports about Earth's revealed capabilities. His gray skin turned slightly pale. "Impossible. Our scans showed nothing of this scale." "How did you?" "For centuries, humanity has prepared for this moment," General Rodriguez explained. "Every alien invasion movie, every science fiction story. They weren't just entertainment. They were preparation. We learned from imagined scenarios and built defenses for threats we hadn't even met yet." Dr. Chen added, "And we've had help. Those ruins your empire overlooked on Mars. We found them 50 years ago. Reverse engineering alien technology while adding human innovation. It's amazing what a species can do when properly motivated." The Admiral's composure cracked slightly. "You don't understand the consequences of defying the Empire. We have millions of worlds under our control. And how many of them chose to join willingly?" President Patel asked quietly. "Admiral, look at your fleet's sensor readings again. The Prometheus alone has enough firepower to match your entire fleet. We don't want conflict, but we will not surrender our independence." In her orbital station, Captain Sarah Chen watched the exchange with pride. The Empire had expected to find primitives, or at best, a young civilization they could easily dominate. Instead, they found a humanity that had turned centuries of dreaming about the stars into real preparation for this very moment. Admiral Kraz's hologram vanished without another word. The Imperial fleet remained in position, but their weapon systems powered down. The first test of wills was over, and Earth had stood its ground. "They'll be back," General Rodriguez said quietly. This was just the beginning. President Patel nodded. "And we'll be ready. We always have been." Imperial spy Master Vex lurked in the shadows of a Tokyo street market, his holographic disguise making him appear human. His mission was simple: understand how Earth had developed so quickly. After 2 weeks of investigation, he was frustrated and increasingly worried. In his hidden orbital ship, he compiled his report for the Empire. Earth's strength isn't just their technology. It's their mindset. They'd been preparing for us long before they knew we existed. At that moment, in the London Underground Research Facility, Dr. Emily Chen was demonstrating Earth's latest breakthrough to General Rodriguez and a team of scientists. A small device on the table projected a perfect hologram of Vex's true form, despite his disguise. "Our alien detection systems found 12 Imperial spies last week," Dr. Chen explained, adjusting her glasses. "They still don't realize we can see through their cloaking technology. Centuries of sci-fi movies about shape-shifting aliens made us develop this tech decades ago." General Rodriguez picked up the detector. "And they have no idea we're watching them." "None," Dr. Chen smiled. "But that's not the best part. Show them, James." Lieutenant James Wong stepped forward and activated the main screen. It showed a massive underground facility beneath the Pacific Ocean. "While they're busy looking at our visible defenses, they haven't found our main production facilities. The ocean bases alone produce more quantum-powered ships in a month than their entire empire makes in a year." In space, Captain Sarah Chen was running combat drills with Earth's defense fleet. The Empire's ships watched from a distance as human vessels performed maneuvers that their own ships couldn't match. What they didn't know was that these were just the basic moves. The real capabilities remained hidden. "Battle Group Delta, execute Pattern Omega," Sarah commanded. The ships formed a complex formation that looked chaotic to outside observers, but followed patterns taken from old video games. Gaming simulations had helped humanity develop battle strategies the Empire had never considered. Back in his hidden location, Spy Master Vex received more disturbing news. His agents had discovered thousands of bunkers worldwide, each containing technology that seemed to counter every known Imperial weapon. It was as if humans had spent generations specifically preparing to resist the Empire. He wrote in his report, "Most concerning is their cultural database. They have countless stories, movies, and games about resisting alien invasions. Each piece of fiction led to real defensive preparations. They've solved problems we haven't even thought of yet." In the Geneva Command Center, President Patel reviewed the latest intelligence. "They're starting to understand," she told her advisors, "but they still don't grasp our full capabilities." Dr. Chen brought up a new hologram showing Earth's defense layers. "The visible fleet is just the surface. Our quantum shields can stop their strongest weapons. Our AI systems can predict their tactics before they execute them. And thanks to the Mars ruins, we understand their technology better than they do." "And the Project Phoenix?" General Rodriguez asked. "Ready," Dr. Chen replied. "If they try to use their planet-killer weapons, they'll find out why we named our defense system after a creature that rises from the ashes." In orbit, Sarah received a strange alert. An Imperial probe had gotten too close to Jupiter, where it encountered something unexpected. "Ma'am," her eye reported, "they just found the Jupiter shipyards." Sarah smiled. The massive construction facilities around Jupiter had been humanity's best-kept secret. Now the Empire would see that Earth wasn't just defending its home. It was ready to take the fight anywhere in the galaxy if necessary. Spy Master Vex added a final note to his report. Recommendation: immediate diplomatic recognition of Earth as a sovereign power. Military action would be inadvisable. This species has not just prepared for war, They've spent generations preparing specifically for us, without even knowing who we were. We are facing an enemy that has imagined and countered every possible way we could try to conquer them. As his message transmitted to the Empire's capital, Earth's leaders continued their preparations. They knew the Empire wouldn't give up easily, but humanity had spent centuries getting ready for this moment. Now it was just a matter of waiting to see what move the Empire would make next. "Let them come," President Patel said quietly. "Every move they make just reveals more of our strengths." The Imperial attack began at dawn. 500 warships emerged from hyperspace, their weapons already charging. Admiral Kraz stood on his command ship, confident that this minor disciplinary action would teach Earth its place. "Launch the first wave," he ordered. "Show them the consequences of defying the Empire." In Geneva's command center, General Rodriguez watched the invasion fleet appear on the main screen. Instead of panic, a calm smile crossed his face. "They brought exactly the number of ships we predicted. Activate Defense Plan Delta." High above Earth, Captain Sarah Chen's voice echoed through all Earth Defense Force channels. "All units, battle stations. Execute Operation Dancing Star." The Empire's first wave of attacks met nothing but empty space. Their energy weapons passed through apparent defense stations and ships, hitting only holograms. The real Earth fleet had already moved into attack positions behind the Imperial forces. "Interesting strategy," Admiral Kraz mocked through an open channel. "Hiding will not save you. The Empire has never lost a disciplinary action in 10,000 years. President Patel's response came swiftly. "Then today marks the end of that record. Dr. Chen, show them why we named our defense system after Earth's ancient gods." Dr. Emily Chen, monitoring from her laboratory, activated the Zeus array. Suddenly, artificial lightning storms appeared around the Imperial fleet. The electrical disturbances, based on technology reversed engineered from the Mars ruins, disrupted the Empire's shield systems. "Impossible," Admiral Kraz shouted as his ship's defenses flickered. "Our shields are based on technology that primitive humans couldn't possibly understand." "We didn't need to understand it," Dr. Chen replied through the comm channel. "We just needed to know how to break it." "Captain Chen, they're all yours." Sarah's fleet emerged from their stealth positions. The EDS Prometheus led the charge, accompanied by smaller but equally advanced Earth vessels. Their formation wasn't the rigid military pattern the Empire expected. Instead, they moved like a swarm of angry bees, using flight patterns developed from studying Earth's insects. "All ships, engage at will," Sarah commanded. "Remember your video game training. Show them why Earth's gamers now make the best space pilots." The battle that followed stunned the Imperial forces. Earth's ships didn't just fight. They danced through space, using maneuvers that seemed to defy physics. Each Earth vessel operated independently yet in perfect coordination, their tactics unpredictable yet devastatingly effective. Lieutenant Wong, coordinating the planetary defense grid, activated the Poseidon system. Massive tentacles of energy, controlled by Earth's quantum AI, reached out from orbital platforms, grabbing Imperial ships and crushing their engines. "Sir," an Imperial officer reported to Admiral Kraz, his voice shaking. "We've lost 30% of our fleet in the first 10 minutes. Their technology. It's like they knew exactly how to counter every weapon we have." On the Prometheus's bridge, Sarah directed her forces with precise efficiency. "Group A, execute the Pac-Man maneuver. Group B, implement Space Invaders' defense pattern." The Empire's proud armada found itself being systematically dismantled by tactics named after ancient human entertainment. Each Earth ship carried weapons specifically designed to exploit weaknesses in Imperial technology that even the Empire didn't know existed. "Admiral," Dr. Chen's voice came through again. "We've watched every space battle in every science fiction movie ever made. We've simulated every possible way you might attack us. Did you really think we wouldn't be ready?" Admiral Kraz watched in horror as his fleet was reduced to scattered groups of damaged ships. The disciplinary action had turned into a humiliating defeat. "All ships, retreat," he ordered. "Fall back to Rally Point Omega." As the Imperial fleet fled through hyperspace, President Patel addressed the Earth's defenders. "Well done, everyone. But this was just their first attempt. They'll be back, and next time they won't underestimate us." General Rodriguez nodded. "Let them come. Every attack teaches them the same lesson. Earth doesn't just fight back. We fight back with style, with innovation, and with the accumulated knowledge of generations who dreamed of this very day." In her ship, Sarah Chen watched the last Imperial vessels disappear. "All units, return to patrol positions," she ordered. "And good job, everyone." Those hundreds of hours playing space combat games finally paid off. Earth had won its first major space battle. The Empire had learned a costly lesson. Underestimating humanity was a mistake they wouldn't make again. In the great halls of the Imperial Senate on planet Nexus Prime, chaos erupted. Holographic displays showed Earth's decisive victory over the Empire's fleet. Representatives from 1,000 worlds watched in stunned silence as recordings played of Earth ships destroying Imperial warships with ease. Ambassador Zix of the Centauri Federation stood up, his crystalline form glowing with excitement. The humans didn't just defeat an Imperial fleet. They humiliated it. This changes everything. The Imperial Senate chamber, usually a place of quiet submission to Empire's will, now buzzed with whispered conversations and growing courage. News of Earth's victory was spreading through the galaxy faster than the Empire could control it. Back on Earth, President Patel hosted an unexpected visitor. Ambassador Lyra from the Andromeda Alliance, a secret group of worlds that had long opposed the Empire, arrived in Geneva through a hidden quantum portal. "Your victory has given hope to countless worlds," Lyra said, her feathered crest rising with emotion. "For 10,000 years, the Empire claimed they could not be defeated. You proved them wrong in a single battle." General Rodriguez and Dr. Chen joined the meeting, bringing reports from across the galaxy. "We're receiving messages from 50 different civilizations," Dr. Chen explained, displaying a holographic map. "They all want to know how we did it." More importantly, General Rodriguez added, "Many of them want to form alliances. The Empire's grip on the galaxy is weakening." In the Empire's capital, Emperor Vorn raged at his advisors. His tentacles turned dark with anger as he watched more reports of systems demanding independence. "How did one primitive world cause so much trouble?" he roared. Spy Master Vex, now promoted to Chief of Imperial Intelligence, displayed his latest findings. "The humans did more than defeat our fleet, Your Majesty. They showed the galaxy that our technology isn't as superior as we claimed. Other worlds are beginning to experiment with human innovations." On the trading world of Keras Prime, alien merchants openly sold copies of Earth weapons and shields. The Empire's enforcers tried to stop it, but they couldn't be everywhere at once. Humanity's technology was spreading, and with it, the idea of resistance. Ambassador Lyra shared a secret with Earth's leaders. "The Andromeda Alliance has hidden shipyards in the Ghost Nebula. With your permission, we'd like human engineers to help upgrade our fleet. Together, we could." Before she could finish, alarms blared. Lieutenant Wong rushed into the room with urgent news. Multiple Imperial diplomats requesting emergency meetings. They're asking for peace talks. President Patel smiled. "Not asking, begging. They've realized we're not just defending Earth anymore. We're changing the balance of power in the galaxy." In orbit, Captain Sarah Chen received different news. The quantum sensors detected massive fleet movements throughout the galaxy. "The Empire isn't giving up," she reported to command. "They're gathering their forces. This was just the calm before the storm." Dr. Chen's analysis confirmed it. They're calling in fleets from every corner of their territory, but that's creating another problem for them. Subjected worlds are rising up as Imperial forces withdraw. In the Imperial Senate, more representatives were finding their voice. Ambassador Zix's bold speech inspired others. If humans could build their strength in secret, so can we. If they can fight back, so can we. The age of imperial dominance is ending. Emperor Vorn made a desperate decision. Gather every ship we have, he commanded. We will crush Earth with overwhelming force, make an example of them before this rebellion spreads further. But he was too late. Earth had already begun sharing its defensive technologies with other worlds. President Patel addressed the United Earth Council. The Empire forced us to become strong. Now we'll help others find their strength too. In her ship, Sarah watched as allied vessels from different worlds began arriving through quantum portals, joining Earth's defense fleet. Each brought unique technologies and knowledge, making their combined force even stronger. The Empire thought they would teach us our place in the galaxy, General Rodriguez said, watching the growing Allied fleet. Instead, we're teaching the galaxy that every world deserves to be free. The next battle would be bigger than just Earth versus the Empire. It would be a fight for the freedom of every world that dared to dream of independence. The Imperial Armada darkened the space around Earth's solar system. 10,000 warships, the largest fleet ever assembled in galactic history, prepared for the Empire's final attempt to crush human resistance. Emperor Vorn himself commanded from his planet-sized flagship, the Imperial Doom. Today, we end this rebellion, he declared across all channels. Earth's defiance dies here. In Earth's command center, President Patel stood calmly as she watched the massive fleet approach. General Rodriguez and Dr. Chen flanked her sides, while holographic representatives from 30 allied worlds joined their war council. They'd brought their entire fleet, Ambassador Lyra observed, her feathered crest rippling with anticipation. Just as we predicted. And just as we planned for, Dr. Chen replied, activating the master control panel. Operation Trojan Horse is ready. High above Earth, Captain Sarah Chen commanded the combined fleet of Earth and its allies. The EDS Prometheus led a force of ships from 24 worlds, each contributing their unique technologies to the defense. All ships, Battle Formation Omega, Sarah ordered. Remember your training. Today we fight not just for Earth, but for every world that dreams of freedom. The Empire struck first, launching a wave of energy weapons that lit up space like artificial suns. But Earth was ready. The quantum shields, now enhanced with technology from their allies, held firm. Pathetic, Emperor Vorn sneered. Activate the planet killer. His flagship's main weapon began charging, its power building to levels that could crack a planet's crust. Dr. Chen smiled. Now James. Lieutenant Wong activated Earth's secret weapon. Hidden quantum transmitters, planted throughout the Imperial fleet by disguised trading ships over the past months, came to life. Suddenly, half of the Empire's ships found their weapon systems redirected, firing on their own allies. What treachery is this? Vorn roared as chaos erupted among his fleet. We learned from the best, President Patel responded. You taught us that deception was part of war. We just perfected it. Captain Chen. Execute Phase 2. Sarah's voice rang clear. All ships, initiate Operation Avalanche. The combined fleet split into smaller groups, each using tactics developed from Earth's vast library of space combat scenarios. Centauri crystal ships phased through Imperial vessels, shorting out their systems. Andromean warships used biological weapons that ate through enemy hull plating. Earth vessels demonstrated combat maneuvers that looked like they came straight from video games. In the midst of battle, General Rodriguez activated Earth's final surprise, launched the Phoenix Protocol. From Jupiter's hidden shipyards, a massive fleet of automated drones emerged. Built in secret using combined technologies from Earth and its allies, these drones swarmed through the Imperial formation like angry insects, disrupting their carefully planned formations. Emperor Vorn watched in horror as his perfect battle plan collapsed. Impossible. We are the Empire. We cannot be defeated by worlds you thought were beneath you, President Patel finished for him. That was always your weakness. You never understood that oppression breeds innovation. Every world you conquered learned from their defeat. Today, we're using everything we learned. The battle reached its climax as the Imperial Doom charged its main weapon again. But this time, Earth was ready. The Prometheus, accompanied by ships from every allied world, moved into attack position. All ships, fire, Sarah commanded. The combined firepower of 30 different civilizations struck the Imperial flagship. No single weapon could have breached its defenses, but the mixture of technologies proved too much. The massive ship shields failed, and Emperor Vorn watched as his invincible flagship began to break apart. "This is impossible," were his last words before his ship exploded in a blast that lit up the solar system. The remaining Imperial ships, seeing their emperor and flagship destroyed, began to retreat in panic. The combined fleet pursued, making sure the Empire's defeat was complete and decisive. In Geneva, President Patel addressed the Allied worlds. "Today marks the end of the Empire's tyranny. But it's also the beginning of something greater, a galaxy where all worlds stand as equals." Sarah watched from the Prometheus as the last Imperial ships fled. Earth had not just survived, it had led the galaxy to freedom. The final battle was over, and a new era was about to begin. 1 month after the Empire's defeat, representatives from over 1,000 worlds gathered in Earth's newly constructed space assembly in orbit. The massive station, built using combined technology from dozens of civilizations, symbolized the galaxy's new era of cooperation. President Patel stood at the central podium, addressing the largest gathering of alien species in galactic history. The chamber was filled with beings of all forms: crystalline centauri, feathered andromedans, energy-based Novarians, and hundreds more. "The Empire's age of tyranny is over," she declared, her voice translated into 500 different languages simultaneously. "Now we build something new. Not an empire, but a fellowship of free worlds." In the station's command center, Captain Sarah Chen watched the security feeds with General Rodriguez. After leading the final battle, she had been promoted to Fleet Admiral of the new Galactic Defense Force. "Any sign of remaining Imperial forces?" the general asked. Sarah shook her head. "Their last strongholds surrendered yesterday. Dr. Chen's detection grid covers the entire known galaxy now. No one can hide a fleet anymore." Dr. Emily Chen was busy in her new laboratory aboard the station, working with alien scientists from 30 different worlds. Together, they combined their knowledge, creating technologies that the Empire had always forbidden. "Look at this," she told Lieutenant Wang, now her chief assistant. She pointed to a holographic display showing new discoveries. "When we share knowledge freely, we achieve in days what the Empire prevented for centuries." Ambassador Lyra, now representing the former Andromeda Alliance, approached President Patel after the main assembly. "Earth didn't just defeat the Empire," she said, her feathers shimmering with emotion. "You showed us a new way to exist together. Each world contributing its strengths, no species claiming superiority over others." The Space Assembly's first act was to establish the Galactic Council, where every world had an equal voice. Earth was offered the leadership position, but President Patel surprised everyone with her response. "Earth will serve as one member among equals," she announced. "The age of single-species rule is over. Leadership should rotate among all worlds." In the shipyards around Jupiter, now a major hub of galactic commerce, vessels from hundreds of worlds came to trade and learn. The feared Imperial warships were being converted into exploration vessels, their weapons replaced with scientific equipment. General Rodriguez watched as former Imperial soldiers trained alongside Earth's forces and other species. "Strange," he commented to Sarah. "A month ago, they were our enemies. Now they're learning our tactics." "That's because we didn't just beat them," Sarah replied. "We showed them a better way. The Empire taught dominance. We teach cooperation." Dr. Chen's team made another breakthrough that day. By combining Earth's quantum technology with Centauri crystals and Andromedan biological systems, they created a new form of faster-than-light travel. The galaxy became smaller, more connected than ever before. This is what the Empire feared. Ambassador Zix observed, his crystalline form glowing brightly. Not just Earth's strength, but how you use it. You make others stronger too. President Patil ended the historic First Assembly with a final announcement. From this day forward, our galaxy is open to all. No borders, no restricted territories. Every world has something to teach and something to learn. In her new flagship, the Hope of Tomorrow, Admiral Sarah Chen prepared for her first mission, leading a combined fleet of explorers to the galaxy's unexplored regions. But this time, they carried messages of peace, not conquest. Ready for a new adventure? Lieutenant Wong asked, now her first officer. Sarah smiled, looking at her bridge crew, humans working alongside beings from 20 different worlds. The Empire thought they were teaching us our place in the galaxy, she said. Instead, they taught us how to make the galaxy a better place for everyone. As the Hope of Tomorrow led its fleet of exploration ships into deep space, Earth had achieved something greater than victory. It had turned an empire of fear into a galaxy of hope, where every world could reach for the stars together. The message was clear. Earth had not just declared no entry to the Galactic Empire. It had opened the door to a new future for all species who dared to dream of freedom and unity among the stars.